Hey, how's it going? This is James P. White from 95.7 Cruise FM, The Locker Room. Welcome to the Jedi Jimmy podcast. This is episode number 17, the final form of lightsaber combat. This is form number 7. It's got two variations. One's called Juyo, and the other one is called Vaapad. Now, it's also called the Way of the Vornskr and the Ferocity form. As I said, it does have two variations, and variation 1, Juyo, actually is a variation that is the most vicious of all lightsaber forms. It actually involves the practitioner to focus on all their emotions, and it's an internal focus, and which in a lot of cases leads to the dark side because you're dealing with the dark emotions. So actually, it's as time passed, Form 7 became restricted, so that among the Jedi Order, because of whose members who use this form can turn to the dark side, and some of them did stray. Now, in contrast, the members of the Sith focus on this one heavily, and they have no problems dealing with this, again, because they deal with their negative emotions. Now, with that, Darth Sidious actually knew the style enough to be able to teach Darth Maul, who perfected it for the use of the double-bladed lightsaber. As well as he could use the single-bladed, because he did that on a number of occasions as well. Now, Jedi Battle Master Syndrolic, he was also the head of the security at the temple, and he was the main lightsaber combat teacher. He actually was very knowledgeable of this style, as well as Grandmaster Yoda, because they knew all 7 forms, including Juyo. Now, Vaapad is the second variation. This one was actually developed and perfected by Mace Windu, who actually taught his apprentice, Deva Balaba, who started to train her apprentice, Caleb Doom, who you also know as Kanan Jarrus from the Rebels. But his training was cut off short because she was killed on collar during Order 66 by the clone troopers, where Caleb was able to escape. Now, as for Mace, his mastery of Vaapad made him the most ferocious lightsaber combat stylist of the Jedi. His skills were even more powerful, and he was more skillful than actually Yoda. Because if you remember in Star Wars Episode 3, when he fought the Emperor, he actually defeated the Emperor, but the only reason why he was killed is because of Anakin's interference. And whereas when Yoda fought the Emperor in the Senate, he was overpowered by the Emperor. Now, techniques of Juyo. First of all, the opening stance is very simple. It's just a simple back stance. Usually your left foot back if you're right-handed, and your hand, your lightsaber in a horizontal position directly in front of you, like so. So again, foot back, your blade forward in a horizontal position, and you're ready to go. Now, Juyo uses a lot of blade misdirection, so a lot of fakes. So like one primary technique is when you're swinging the blade down towards your opponent's head. As they react, you stop quickly, jerk your lightsaber mid-swing, and you twirl your blade, swinging towards their head or chest. Now, another technique is as you're swinging your misdirection is as you're swinging your blade downward. Again, you react, twist backwards, and strike underneath their lightsaber as they're defending. Now, Also, you can do fake thrusts. So do a quick snapping thrust towards the face, and then divert back and jerk back and stab forward towards the abdomen. Another form of misdirection is you expose your leg. If your leg is exposed forward, they go to swing at it. You lift your leg back to avoid their blade, then do a downward strike towards their head or face or chest, whichever way you want to go with that. Now, Juyo also uses a lot of dirty tricks as well. Like one of these is while you're doing an upward slash towards your opponent, you push forward. You push forward as you clash and push underneath their lightsaber, thrusting into their chest, face, or wherever. Now, also when you're doing when you're in a clash position, as I said, dirty tricks, you're in clash position, you're pushing back, then you reach forward with your other hand, grab the hilt of their lightsaber, pulling it aside so that you can strike them. Or you can also use this as as you are in clash. You grab their hilt, breaking it free from their hand, and then using both lightsabers. If you do have strong grip and you have a strong upper body, that works quite well. Now, Vaapad techniques are open. So if you are right-handed for the opening stance, so again, you have your left foot back, facing perpendicular to your front foot. It's a very common stance in most sword play as well as lightsaber combat. So you have, and it's perpendicular, so your front foot is facing forward, your back foot is facing to your left. Then with that, you have your left hand back. So you have your one hand facing forward and up, your lightsaber, and then your other hand in either a fist or a palm strike pose. Now, as I said, Vaapad it's very much focused on keeping your darkness, your strength at bay, and when you do that, it allows you to accept the ferocity of your opponent. Now, with this here, Vaapad also focuses heavily on constant movement and pressure. So you're always giving pressure to your opponent, moving towards and away from them quickly, trying to overwhelm your opponent. One way you can do this, and this technique is you can do either one-handed or double-handed, is you can do the figure eights. So you're holding your lightsaber and you're moving the tip kind of in a figure eight. So you can do it that way with your two-handed, or with your single-handed. You can do the same thing. Again, moving the blade in figure eights, but you could also do them as a horizontal figure eight or as a vertical, if you know what I mean. Okay, now Vaapad also is known for long alternating swings. Again, you're trying to overwhelm your opponent, So you're moving very quickly. So you can go up, you can go up, down, do the Z's. You can do or V's. One technique I missed, which is also very, very important. You move your lightsaber in a V pattern. And again, doing it very quickly. Or you can do it two-handed or one-handed. Again, you're going up, if you know what I mean. Okay? So another technique is you're alternating your strings, your swings and your techniques from high to low to medium, and again, overwhelming your opponent. So you swing high, low, V's, figure eights. This one is also a good one if you want to use your twirls. So you can hold it upside down. Again, you're trying to overwhelm your opponent and constantly moving, trying to, again, overpower them. Vaapad also uses a misdirection as well. As you step forward and you swing like you're going down towards their head, you stop, you pull back, you pull back, and you're swinging down towards your opponent. They go to clash, or if you hit their blade, pull back and strike them in the abdomen with the hilt of your blade. You got to be very careful with that one, and you got to make sure you have constant strength, because if you do hit them with your hilt and they overpower you, you might actually strike yourself with your own lightsaber. Now, another powerful movement that was used for Vaapad is the one that Mace used to kill Jango Fett. Again, you're trying to overwhelm your opponent. So he's doing the figure eights, defending against the blaster. He strikes Jango's blade out of his hand, or weapon out of his hand. Then he rotated around very quickly, swinging your blade horizontally towards the neck of Jango, so taking his head. So this style is known for its fast movements, constant pressure, and you're repeatedly swinging your weapon. So this one requires a lot of endurance and strength, which I'm going to teach you some techniques in my next podcast on how to improve your endurance and strength in your arms. Now, here I'm going to do as I always do and show you a variation of a number of different combat techniques from both Juyo and Vaapad. Now, I need to thank you so much for joining me for this series of 7 podcasts dealing with lightsaber combat. I really enjoyed this, not only teaching you, but I've actually learned a lot about the different styles and different Jedis that used the styles. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Now, my next podcast, as I said, will be dealing with, I'm calling it the Jedi Jimmy Workout. So you are going to be learning a number of different exercises and routines to help. It's both a good workout and teaching you the skills of the Jedi. So it will entail warm-ups and stretches, agility and strength training, lightsaber endurance and strengthening techniques, as well as meditation. So you're actually going to learn a lot about the Jedi meditations. Now, I need to thank you so much for joining me for my podcast. Look forward to seeing you again. And I do need to thank all my sponsors, all the people that help me out with my podcast. First of all, the Dean Blundell Network on deanblundell.com, where you can find my podcast and tons others, including my friend Army Chris's podcast, Fire for Effect. His Fire for Effect Productions. He actually helped me learn how to do the whole podcasting thing, and I need to thank him. I look forward to seeing you next week for the Jedi Jimmy workout. May the Force be with you.